Hello, friends, comedian and content creator Michael Halcomb here, and I'm stoked that you are checking out some of the apps that I've developed. If you are interested in some of these resources, all you have to do is go to michaelhalcomb.live, and in the tab at the top in the menu, click apps. All right, so this is pretty cool. I've got two developed, and a third one is under construction. So you're going to see there the Joke Writers Lab, which is free, completely free. It's 15 joke writing exercises. Pretty cool. You can go check those out on your own. But this one's about the Comedian Persona Explorer. And if you go here and you click that image or just click the link, it's going to open up a new page for you. And this is a web app, the Comedian Persona Explorer, or you can get there by going to persona.michaelhalcomb.live. And one of the things that you're going to see if you use the Persona Explorer is a pretty awesome report at the end that's going to tell you about who you are. So you're going to go through a questionnaire, you're going to upload some jokes, and it's going to analyze all this and give you like a 5 to 6 page report about your persona to help you dial into who you are when you're on stage. Because we are one person off stage, but slightly different on stage. So I often describe it as like, you're a degree or two off on stage of who you are in real life. So you want to be close to who you are in real life, but it's going to switch a little bit. So if you are familiar with like the Enneagram or the Myers-Briggs, you might be one thing within one of those systems in real life, but when you get on stage, you take on a different persona. And maybe in real life you're calm, but when you get on stage, you're full of antics and wildness. Or maybe you're kind of loud and boisterous in real life, but when you get on stage, you suddenly calm down and become introspective, things like that. So, this is going to help you figure that out. And some of those wires are a little bit hard to untangle sometimes because the real you can get sort of confused with who you are when you're on stage. And this report is going to help you. So, here's one that I did. It says that the core of my persona is like this witty survivor. And I think a lot of that's true. It's going to go through Jungian archetypes, supporting voices beneath the core umbrella, the core persona of who you are. It's going to give you the Enneagram and Myers Briggs, all sorts of things, going to give you a performance analysis, going to identify your strengths, give you some creative exercises based on what you put in to help you continue growing and refining, how your background and is going to how this even applies to your branding. It's pretty cool. And it's going to talk about how your comedic influences show up. Comedians, it might be good for you to like be in conversation with. That is, as far as like engaging their material. It's going to analyze some of your jokes, do a sentiment analysis, even a psychographic profile, which is pretty cool. Going to give you a recommended creative direction. Lots of great stuff here. That's the kind of report that you're going to get. You'll be able to save it as a PDF or save it in your account. So let's check this out real quick to give you an overview of what's going on here and what you're going to encounter when you sign up for the Comedian Persona Explorer. So the initial page is just the landing page. You're going to create an account, and once you do, you'll be in, right? So let me go ahead and do mine, and I'll show you what's on the inside here. So when you sign in, here's what it's going to look like for you. You're going to see your account. Your information is going to be over here on the left, so on and so forth. You'll be able to manage your billing. This is a paid app. You can load previous results. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But essentially, you're going to it's going to show you background questionnaire material, analysis, results. So I can go ahead and review my results from before. This is kind of what I just showed you. So it's going to be saved there in your account. It's much prettier than the PDF, but the PDF is still helpful. Boom, it's all that same stuff, just laid out in a much prettier. So I'm in. I showed you the bar on the left that shows your account stuff. I showed you how to view your results. I can start a new analysis now. If you before you do this, right, you're going to have to pay. And so you can get a one-time single report for 20 bucks and be done with it, or you can have a monthly subscription for 15 bucks. And this allows you to update your answers and run as many reports as you'd like. Maybe you do characters in your act. You can develop characters this way, or you can just keep tweaking your persona based on information that you get from sets or from others or feedback, whatever. But you'll be able to use it 10 times throughout the month as long as you have this subscription, which is pretty cool to be able to do that. Run reports and tweak things until you're really, really dialed into a character or a variety of characters or one persona or whatever. So I I've run this before. I can load a previous session, which is pretty cool, once I have the credit to do this. So I'm going to get the credit to do this. So if you hit the checkout, it's going to take you to Stripe and you'll be able to enter in your information. All right. So after going to Stripe, you're going to be taken back and you can log in and you can start the process. So I've got a credit now and I can start my new analysis, right? And what you're going to get first, it's just going to ask you some questions about your background. There's going to be the questionnaire. You're going to upload some material. You're going to have an analysis and then results. So you can fill this out. And if I go to my previous session and load it, it can potentially fill in the blanks if I wanted to. But you're not going to move forward until you fill out the questions here. So make sure that you fill out the questions and you're good to go, right? I'm not going to show you all of the stuff in this, but essentially that's what you get: the background, the questionnaire, the material, the analysis, and the results, again, which you can save as a PDF. It's very, very cool. Some creative stuff in here that you maybe wouldn't think would affect your persona, but certainly can tie into it and certainly can affect it. So this is the Comedian Persona Explorer. And if you struggle with figuring out who are you, who are you on stage versus who you are in real life, like how do you differentiate between those? Where's the overlap? I think this will really help you. So I encourage you to check it out. I encourage you to use it. And once you get that persona, you'll understand the different voices that can support that persona, but you'll also understand what where you can write from, right? Where your jokes as you write them, what perspective you can write out of, and bend your material to fit your persona, so there's not this clash there that makes you seem inauthentic or whatever. So this is the Comedian Persona Explorer, and I would encourage everybody to check this out at persona.michaelhalcomb.live, and you can get yours a meeting with me, and you can get a nice copy of the Comedian Persona Explorer results. Persona.michaelhalcomb.live, or you can just go to michaelhalcomb.com. Boom, right here, and up at the top, click apps. Scroll down and click the Comedian Persona Explorer, the link, and you'll go right there. All right, guys, check it out. I'm Michael Halcomb. I'm going to stop there and say I hope that helps.